Welcome back to Overbooked and Busy with Tori and Amanda, episode 3.
Yeah, so today we are spotlighting our dear friend Hanna Spanyer, who is a local author here in Kentucky, and so we're going to talk about what she's got going on.
All right. Well, hi, Hanna.
Hello, guys.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here joining us on Overbooked and Busy. Tell us a little bit about your books.
So, the first book is titled The Silence We Carry. It's a conversation between voices. It's a collection of poems that kind of surrounds first responder mental health and suicide. When I first started writing, which really stemmed from the death of a dear friend, police officer in Nicholasville, his name was Anthony Ruggiero. I started writing just to deal with the emotions of that. I had known Ruggiero since I was about 10 years old. And during that time of my life, I was kind of in a really heavy, dark mental spot. And so I was really mad for a couple of reasons when I learned about Ruggiero's death by suicide. One, I was mad that he did it. Mm-hmm. And two, I was mad because if he could do it, then why couldn't I? Mm-hmm. And the only way that I really knew how to process my emotions was to start writing. So I started writing. And initially there wasn't really ever a plan for a book or a collection or anything like that. It was just writing to get my emotions out. And then this kind of back and forth call and response type thing started developing, and I shared it with a couple of really close friends, and they were like, oh, this is really, really, really good, and you should publish it. So then I started looking into publishing, and another friend of mine who is an author in Louisiana, she self-publishes, and so I started asking questions about that, and that's kind of how it led to my book becoming published, was kind of the self-publication route.
Yeah. So it's very powerful. I've read it, started crying, I think, on poem 2, so it makes it difficult. You can't see very well. So make sure you have your tissues, but, I work in healthcare, but not as a first responder, and so, not realizing what that is like. I think you bring a lot of perspective to that, and kind of help us understand how intense that is. And it's not something you can just leave at work, for sure. You carry it with you everywhere you go. But it's very powerful. I don't give anything away, but kind of the perspective that it takes and all that is very interesting. And I've never seen that really before. So that was really, really cool to see. But yeah, make sure you have your tissues.
So you mentioned your books. Can you give us the names? I know you wrote 2 books.
Yeah, so the first one is The Silence We Carry, and the second one is called Unwritten Reports, the Inner Ramblings of a Paramedic's Mind. That one is more of just this big smorgasbord of things. So it's work life, whether it's good, bad, difficulties with changes in administration, difficulties around the station, difficulties with jobs. It's about life. It's about just other random things that I experience. I don't know. Never really expected anybody to read anything, to be completely honest with you guys. But the Unwritten Reports is kind of what happens in my mind in between the calls. Mm-hmm. So it's, this call stayed with me, or this is what is going on at home, or I have this longing to go somewhere right now, but I can't because I'm stuck here in Kentucky at work, or, I don't know, there's a couple of random wishful love poems in there, which is strange for the collection that it is, but it is.
Yeah.
Some of them's about burnout, some of them's about first responders often really struggle with mental health issues. A lot of because of what we see and what we deal with, and it's not very talked about ever. Mm-hmm. So some of them are my own mental health struggles that have kind of come along with the job and with life, and those two things just kind of intermingling, because I try to leave work at work and leave home at home and not intermingle the two a whole lot, but we are human, and our lives do intermingle, and so it's kind of hard to separate them sometimes.
Is it poetry too? All
yes.
Of it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's all collections of poems. I don't know. Unwritten Reports is definitely a lot longer than The Silence We Carry. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember how many poems are in it.
The page count's a lot higher, I noticed that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
The page count is a lot higher. All of the poems in it are a lot longer than what is in The Silence We Carry, which wasn't necessarily intentional, but I think it kind of lens to the storytelling of what each poem is.
Sure.
So where can the people find your books?
Currently, they're on Amazon and Kindle. I'm hoping to get them into some local bookstores a little bit later down the road. But you can search both of those books on Amazon, and you can buy them either paperback or on Kindle. And currently, Unwritten Reports is still on Kindle Unlimited as well.
And we will add those links in our description below as well to make it easier for access if you guys want to check out her books. She's got some great stuff. She's got more things coming, so we're excited to see what you've got, some little interworkings that working in your mind. So we're excited to see that, but we're excited to spotlight you today. And yeah, do you have any more questions for her?
I don't, and we'll make sure to share her social media links as well. She does some readings from them on there, so if you just kind of want to get a little snippet of what it's like, that's a good one to check out. So
Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, they're more on my Instagram and my TikTok than they are on my Facebook. My Facebook's still just my personal page, not my author page, but
we'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll get her connected.
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually, for sure. But that has been Miss Hanna Spanyer. We are so excited to see more.
Thank you guys so much. This one is titled 24-Hour Shifts in the American Lie. I prayed for this, don't forget that. Knelt beside textbooks and burnt coffee with calloused hope on my tongue, wishing for a job that meant something. This job, this uniform, this sacred grind. Now I wake up again on a station couch that smells like bleach and burnout. Head foggy from the ghost of a nap that barely counted. Boots still laced, radio still whispering, and the tones always ready to bite. Dispatch is a lullaby now. One that doesn't soothe but sings me into motion anyway. Every address, a rerun. Every overdose, a deja vu. Every code called in monotone. I've been American dreamin' through 24s, turn 36, turn 60-hour shifts that still can't pay the rent. I have a badge, a patch, and a bank account that laughs at me behind my back. 2 jobs, 3 uniforms, a 4th side gig on the weekends if no one gets shot, crashes, bleeds out, or burns. They say it's noble work. They say thank you for your service. They say we support first responders, right after voting against a contract that might have bought us a raise or a 3rd truck. I should rest. I should. But the pager rings like guilt and sleep feels wasteful when overtime's available. So I pack my trauma into Tupperware, label it for later, and show up again. Tired, wired, ready, barely. I used to have friends, used to. They stopped texting back when I started answering with excuses. On shift, picked up an extra, crashed after 3 calls back to back. And when I show up now, I'm the one who forgot how to sit still, how to small talk, how to be someone who isn't scanning exits and calculating compressions per minute from across the room. American dreamin', that's what they called it. A career with a purpose, a calling, a pension if you make it that far. I dreamed of being someone who saves lives. Now I count the ones I couldn't. The ones we almost reached in time. The ones who screamed. The ones who whispered. The ones who just stared with that quiet look of please. Some of them haunt me. Others I don't even remember. There have been so many. Too many. I get home, finally, and try to be human again. But the dishes are dirty and the silence is loud, and I forgot how to talk to the person who used to call this place home. They say I've changed. They say I'm distant. I say just tired. But they don't get it. No one does unless they've sat in this seat at 3 a.m. telling a mother her child isn't coming back. No one does unless they've had to smile through bloodshot eyes because a stranger said you're a hero while your paycheck bounced. Sometimes I meditate between tones, try to breathe between one heartbreak and the next, but even peace sounds like sirens now. There's something in me that can't stop going. Even when I crash into motion, into another call, into another chance to prove I'm still good at this, still worthy of this job I've begged the universe for. I'm still American dreamin', but it's different now. Less of a vision, more of a chase through fog and red lights. I still want this, don't forget that. But God, I didn't know it would cost so much. Didn't know the dream would wear tactical pants and bleed into every corner of who I used to be. Didn't know that saving lives might just ruin my own. But I'll keep showing up, because somewhere in the static and the blood, the dream is still there. Faint, fragile, but there.